I would like to invite you to please come and share with us your story, Ankit, and we are all very proud of you. So give him a big round.
Hi everybody. To be honest, I really don't know what I personally did to get here, but what I do know is the story of somebody that I worked with when I was in India. And his name was Salu. He's a 15-year-old boy that I met in the village, and I formally introduced myself after living there for a week. But for that first week when I was in the village, I always saw Salu walking around. There he is right there, with a button-down shirt. Okay, not anymore. He always had a button-down shirt on, and he always had these nice tailored pants, while everybody else in the village was always wearing a dhoti, a loincloth. Everyone looked so simple, but Salu was always well-dressed, and I was so confused. What is it about Salu that makes him special? Why is he always so well-dressed? And after living in the village for a week, I woke up in the middle of the night one night, and I walked around the village, and I saw someone sitting at a bench with a kerosene lamp, and it was Salu. I asked him, what are you doing in the middle of the night? And he said, I'm reading, I'm studying. And I was like, what are you studying? He had a chemistry textbook open. And I'm thinking, what is someone in the village going to be doing by learning chemistry? And I asked him, why are you reading? It's so late. And he said, I like to learn. And no, Salu is 15 years old. It's unheard of to me to hear a 15-year-old saying, I'm reading in the middle of the night because I like to learn. And he was curious. So the next day, I approached Salu to seek guidance for what I was doing there. I was hoping to go in there and save the day and really just transform the village and make everything prosperous. I didn't really know what I was going to do, but that was the idea I had in mind. But before I could develop a plan, I asked Salu, what would you do? What would you do if you could solve the problems of the village here? And he told me that he would teach children. I was like, really? And he said, well, I already do teach children. I'm like, well, you are a child. You're 15. Who are you teaching? And he told me that he's teaching his little brother and all his friends. He teaches them English, he teaches them Hindi, and he teaches them math. Because these are things that he's learned in his last 15 years by staying up every night with a kerosene lamp. And I asked him, why? Why do you do this? And he said, it's because I want to know that they have a future. I want to know that they can go to college and that they can have a career. And that they'll be better off because they learned something. I want to know that this chemistry textbook is useful beyond me and that I can give it to him when he's my age. And I was blown away. I'm thinking, this is a 15-year-old kid. What was I doing when I was 15? I was a sophomore at Herrick's High School, and I was very keen on my goals. I was thinking all about straight A's. I was thinking about 2400s. I was thinking about college, and I was thinking about leadership positions in every which club I could get my hands on. And all of these things were they're goals external to me. I'm always working for the next step. And Salu is working because he's doing what makes him happy. He's doing things that he knows that he'll be fulfilled by. And I'm thinking, I'm comparing us now. I'm thinking, Salu is living in a village with no electricity, where you sleep and you rise with the sun, but he stays up till 2 in the morning anyway. He has a kerosene lamp when I have full electricity, I have high-speed internet, and he has to pump his own water. He helps his grandmother, he helps his mom, he supports his family, and he is still as motivated and doing things for himself despite all of those obstacles. And I'm sitting here with every resource I could possibly imagine, focusing on myself. And it was shocking to me. I thought, what can I take away from Salu? The example of Salu, this guy's 4 years younger than me, living in a totally different area of the world, and he's teaching me something. And I thought, what is the difference between us? Why is he so much more fulfilled than I am? And I realized it's what's motivating us. What's motivating Salu was intrinsic. He was looking to be fulfilled by what he was doing. He was looking to learn something and really be happy with the way he was leading his life. And what I was doing is I was trying to impress the people around me. I was looking to achieve the next goal because I knew that if I could say I went to the Wharton School, it would be really impressive because it has a fancy name. And I realized that didn't really make me fulfilled. It just gave me laurels to rest upon. And I realized that it's really, as I thought about it more and more, I thought beyond the example of Salu. I extrapolated this idea of intrinsic motivation to anybody that changes the world in any which way. And I realized that everyone that actually makes a true impact, significant change in the way we live our lives, they're not acting because that's their goal. They're not acting because they're thinking they want to get a big name. They're acting because they're doing what they love. And it's unbelievable to me, because you think of, for example, the founders of Facebook or the founders of Twitter. They were pursuing their dreams and creating what they did because that was their passion. They thought, I want to think of a better way to connect people. They weren't thinking that I was going to create the means for Egypt to have a revolution. They were just doing what they loved, and it just so happened that they ended up serving the rest of the world. You think of even places like restaurants, simple businesses where you think it's a profit-making enterprise and that's what they're doing, but people who start restaurants, they're also thinking about sharing a dining experience. But it just so happens that we're able to indulge in other cultures. We're able to learn and be able to interact with other people at these restaurants. And it's crazy because it makes you think people who are intrinsically motivated are really the people that are serving our world. And it calls for us to redefine what service actually means. Service doesn't necessarily mean you have to go into a village and cure cancer. It doesn't mean that you have to go to an underprivileged school and deal with rowdy kids. Those are all forms of service, but service is really anything that makes the society around you a better place. It doesn't necessarily have to have the label of non-for-profit. You can make money while doing service, but the point is, if you're improving the world around you, that's what service really is. And people that are doing what they love oftentimes are the people that are serving the most to our communities. And it was unbelievable to me, this whole revelation. This guy's 15 years old and he's not reading all the blogs that I'm reading on the internet, but he's that much smarter than I am. And he's just doing what he loves. It's a simple idea. And I guess the whole takeaway from this is, if any of you guys could think of what you would do if you didn't think about money, if you didn't think about acknowledgement, reputation, ego, anything along those lines, anything extrinsic, what would you be doing? And I feel like I can almost guarantee that in serving yourself, in finding fulfillment for yourself, you naturally end up serving others. Thank you.